According to the 2026 World Happiness Report, Sweden is ranked as the 5th most happiest country. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 Swedish habits that will help you to live a happier, calmer life wherever you are.
Hi, welcome. My name is Esti. I am a Singaporean living in North Sweden.
I understand and believe that many of us are emotionally tired. This 10 habit has helped me to find happiness. Some of them are practical, some are emotional, and some of them may completely change your way of looking at happiness. And surprisingly, some of these habits has also helped me to save money. Make sure you stay until the end of this video. You don't need to live in Sweden to benefit from all these habits. So let's begin. When I first moved to Sweden 28 years ago, that's something that I noticed is the silence. Being a Singaporean, we are used to the kind of stressful environment, noisy, crowded places. And when I first came here the first few years, I felt a little bit uncomfortable. In Singapore, I was so used to a lot of stimulations, music, television, sounds of the traffic, people talking all the time, non-stop, and always checking phones. At the beginning, I used to use headphones when I go out for a walk. I noticed that nowadays people are very addictive in scrolling their telephone continuously, endlessly. I start to realize that quietness is actually creates space in your mind. It allows you to breathe. It gives you the space to think. And the beautiful thing is you could practice this too, and you don't have to be in Sweden. All you need is just 5 minutes of your day. Find somewhere that is quiet. It can be in a room or maybe going out for a short walk by yourself without the headphone, enjoying a cup of tea beside the window looking out. That is also considered a quiet moment. Allow your nervous system to rest for 5 minutes. Maybe some of you may feel uncomfortable from the beginning. Trust me, this is going to be the best healing therapy you ever learn. Habit number 2 is fika. And what is fika? Fika is coffee break. Sweet, they like to do them. Sometimes one time, sometimes twice, even 3 times a day. It's not just a coffee break. Honestly, it's deeper than that, and it has changed my life. It's a deliberate pause we all need. It was really difficult for me to understand because in Singapore, we don't have this fika pause. You don't have to have like sweet treats. You can have like fruits or even small treats that are not sweet if you are caring about your figure. We need this pause, especially during this uncertain time. We need to feel that we have something to look forward to rather than sitting there and worry and just keep working. You really need this break because you will notice after having this break, your mind is more clearer, you become more creative or even productive. If you like to have this cozy moment, you can buy these battery candles and just to create that atmosphere for yourself for being just presence. And the most important is not about the drink, it's not about the cookies or the pastry. It is about allowing yourself to rest without feeling guilty. The third habit is spending time outside irregardless of the season. Swedish life is deeply connected to the nature. Whenever I feel a little bit mentally heavy or stressed out, I like to go out for a walk. Irregardless of the season, the most rewarding part is when you come back home. You will feel very relaxed and you will feel maybe a little bit tired, and which is really good. Then you will have a better sleep. Suddenly I felt like my problems or my heaviness has been lifted. Being outdoor has improved my mental health, and I would encourage you to reconnect yourself in the nature if possible. And you don't need to have a huge forest to do this. You can go to your nearest park. The most important is that you are out, you're not at home. This small little habit can go a long way. And habit number 4 is the words lagom. What is lagom? Lagom means not too much, not too little, just nice, or basically just enough. How this theory works? You could start this habit by first asking yourself, what do I actually need? What truly adds peace in my life? Sometimes living a calmer life is not by adding more things. I really like this concept because being someone from Singapore, we were brought up by believing that we are successful when we have more money, more things. This mindset helped me to release stress in my life. I stopped pursuing perfection. I stopped comparing myself constantly. And very often, I know sometimes we live up to others people's expectation. I remember a few years ago, I was a little bit chubby. So when I went back to Singapore, my family asked me, why are you so fat? In the past, I felt really hurt. I couldn't get over with that. But after learning this habit, I could just laugh at them. And if they were to tell me that again, sometimes I feel like we are constantly told what things are missing in our life. We should listen to what is enough for us. We should learn how to appreciate what we already have. Don't let other people define you. Habit number 5 is sweet. They don't like to show off their wealth. Of course, everyone is different. That they believe that everyone should have a fair chance. Everyone should be treated the same. And nowadays, I stopped looking at Facebook or Instagram because I felt like people there, you look at their life, their luxury lifestyle, the perfect home, the perfect vacation, their perfect lives, and constantly comparing yourself is very exhausting. I just love this mindset of not trying to show off your wealth. This has helped me to save money intentionally.
One thing I've learned in Sweden that is beautiful home doesn't need expensive stuff. This year, I repurposed all items we already have from our home to decorate the summer house.
Habit 6, respecting personal space. I think this may sound a little bit odd or strange for some of you guys. You may find that Swedes are a little bit cold from the beginning if you don't know them, but actually they are respecting your personal space. But sometimes we have to create boundaries and let people know, okay, maybe this is too much. If we don't set the boundaries, we are going to be so exhausted mentally. And sometimes when we are alone, it doesn't mean that we are lonely. It's okay to protect your energy. Habit 7, living with the season. In the past, I used to fight against the season. Maybe some of you may think that, oh, you have 4 seasons, but in Singapore or in Southeast Asia, we only have 1 season, which is just summer. So for this, I think I could simply understand because you are so hot there nowadays. Even if you don't live in Sweden or in cold country with 4 seasons, in the hot climate, maybe learning how to slow down is not a bad idea. You can enjoy the tropical rain, eating seasonal food like rambutan, durian, or embracing the quiet evening after the sunset. Seasonal living is really about learning how to live gently instead of constantly fighting against it. You can wear lighter clothes, not like here in winter we have to put up with thick layer and layer of clothes. You can just put on your slipper and you are out already within 2 minutes. Habit 8. Simple home cooking. After living here for 28 years, I learned a lot of lazy style because people here, they don't like to spend too much time in the kitchen. They rather cook within the shortest period of time so that they could spend more quality time with their family or being outdoor and do all the fun things. If you're looking for some fast, easy, healthy Swedish recipe, I'm going to include the link so that you could too go and check it out. Habit 9. Trusting slow progress. The one thing that shocked me most when I moved to Sweden is how slow people speak. Not in a bad way, but in a more slower, calmer, more intentional manner. As a Singaporean, I'm used to speaking very fast. Singaporean, we like to make fast decisions, to talk fast, fast service. This way of living in Sweden that is so slow makes me really impatient. You're used to that mode, and then when you come here, everything is so slow. Then you're just like, what happened? What is going on? Why is everything so slow? But after staying here for a few years, I noticed something. They are not lazy. They are not irresponsible, or they are slow learner. And if you are coming from a very fast-paced culture, you may find it really difficult to understand, and I think eventually you will be very impatient too. And you come to think about that, is that when they are doing things slowly, people here are less stressed, and it makes us think how nervous and how stressful we are in our life back home. Another thing that it's really difficult for me to adjust is that when it comes to making an appointment. In Singapore, you can get a message today and then tomorrow we will meet. Sometimes we even do spontaneous visit. But here in Sweden, people usually like to check their calendar first. If you're lucky, you can get appointments like within the next few days. Otherwise, in a few weeks or sometimes in months. Honestly, this drives me crazy. But after staying here for a while, I start to understand this in a deeper level. Let me explain. People here really protect their own time and personal space. They don't automatically fill up all their empty space or available space because they want to space out time for their own resting time. They don't want to be like pop, all the appointments all laid out, and they get really stressed out. Maybe that's the reason why life seems to be more calmer here, because people like to take breaks in between and maybe think about things before they decide. Everything need not have to be treated emergency. This mindset is very difficult for me to understand initially, but after a while, I start to think about, during the time of waiting, like for example, at the supermarket, the queue is long and you are standing behind this queue waiting. And instead of waiting, you have the chance to stand there and think about maybe philosophy. Often in our daily life, we were rushing from one things to the other. We don't even have like a break time for us to just freeze there and think about things or how to solve a problem, or how to just relax for a while. And maybe that 10 minutes of waiting is precisely what we need. As an Asian, we were taught to value efficiency highly. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Does this constant rush causing our mental health? Because when everything becomes so urgent, our nervous system didn't have the time to fully rest. We definitely need that breathing space in our daily life. Even until today, I'm still learning. I notice when we slow down, we sleep better, we think more clearly, and enjoy the ordinary moments more. I don't think that this culture is completely right or wrong. Singapore taught me efficiency, discipline, and hard work. Sweden taught me calmness, balance, and slow living. And I think the healthiest is in between. Maybe we can ask ourselves these questions. Do we really need to rush all the time? Or can we create a little breathing space in our daily life? Can we protect our peace a little bit more? If you could adapt to that tempo, I can guarantee you that this skill could change your life and your emotional well-being. Number 10, prioritizing your peace over productivity. And what does that mean? It means protecting your mental well-being instead of constantly operating in a survival mode. Let me give you a few examples. Instead of answering or responding notification on your social media or email, you put that time aside and say, okay, now I'm going to do that at a healthy time. For me, it's often about planning. Like I know if I'm going shopping and I know that Friday, Saturday is the most busiest time at the supermarket. So I always plan like on Tuesday or Wednesday or midweek where there's not so many people. In this way, I feel more relaxed than rushing and stressing unnecessarily. There was one stage in my life that I was a perfectionist, and sometimes I expect house to be clean in a specific way. Now that I have a partner with LG, I realize that I cannot have that expectation. I have to learn how to accept this is good enough, even though it wasn't perfect. Nowadays, the news is so negative. So I try to stay away from news in the morning. I find that it is very energy consuming. It is affecting me negatively. I no longer chase success. Instead, I concentrate on appreciating the small things. For many years, I thought that being productive would make me happy. But eventually, I realized that it is constantly stealing my ability to enjoy life. I no longer want to live a life that looks successful from the outside. I want a life that feels peaceful from the inside. I don't think Sweden is perfect, but I think every country has its challenge. Every lifestyle has its difficulties. Maybe happiness is not about having more. Maybe it is about not needing more. I really hope that this video would help you in a small way. And let me know in the comment which of these habits you might want to try it out. If you find all this habit useful, I would really appreciate if you give a hype to this video. And don't forget to check out my other video, which I'm going to include in the video description below. Thank you for spending this peaceful moment with me. Do take care, and I hope to see you real soon again.